In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the biggest influence on your life. Hey guys, it's Abby and welcome back to another video. So what is it? What is the biggest thing influencing your life right now? Any guesses? It's your assumptions. It's the assumptions that you are making about how your life should be, about how life is, about how your relationships go, about how money works in general. All of the beliefs you have right now are created and basically are assumptions on how you think reality works. So you might be saying, well, that's cute. Yeah, I wish that I could assume that money flows to me easily. I wish that I could assume that relationships are nothing but loving, fun, exciting situations. Or I wish that I could assume that my dream job could just happen and then I could be in that reality. Well, even in that, you are assuming. You're assuming that that doesn't exist. You're assuming that there are things in your way. The more and more I look and research into things and what is reality, the more and more I see that there is never a lack of abundance. There is, never a lack of abundance. There is never scarcity. Abundance of everything. Money, love, everything you want is fluid. Look at nature. It is the purest form. Abundance is everywhere. Scarcity comes in when we create these beliefs that are eventually fortified assumptions. If you assume something over and over and over, and that thought is perpetually going, you start to believe it. The more you start to believe it, you start taking actions, and that creates behaviors and habits. Then your whole life is ruled by these things. By the time you're 35 years old, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, 95% of your life is ruled by automatic programming, your subconscious mind. So if you looked at it and started to really say, hey, maybe that isn't true. Maybe it isn't true that, relationships have to be hard. Maybe it isn't true that I can't ever do what I love and get money for it, right? Because money, everything in life is an energetic exchange. A lot of times what happens is we are looking for it not to be there. So we're not doing the actions. We're actually lining up and acting like it's not going to happen. So we're actually doing a self-fulfilling prophecy of not doing that energetic exchange. So abundance is always there. The beliefs and assumptions that we have that it doesn't exist actually insulate us and keep us from it. It still exists, and as we peel those assumptions and as we peel and disassemble those beliefs, that is when we can start to see, wow, this energy, these opportunities, they've always existed. I just didn't have the awareness and the perception to see them. You have this thing in your brain called your RAS, your reticular activating system. All that is a filtration system in your brain that is programmed by you. It's programmed to pick out the things in life that are important to you. So if you communicate to your subconscious that I never get the job, I always get rejected, I never have enough money at the end of the month, guess what happens? You start only being able to perceive consciously those situations, those people that are going to reflect that belief, because your brain, your subconscious does not know the difference. It doesn't know good or bad. It only knows, oh, that's what you're wanting to experience? Here it comes. I got you. I'll do this for you. Now, if you start to unravel that and think, hey, well, maybe, start there. Maybe it's true. What if it was true that this is a belief I have? Let's look at examples in the world. Let's look at people who are living, the dream version of that I would like to live. Let's look how they're living their life. Let's look at their language. Let's look at their belief system. How does it differ from mine? Is it the same? No, absolutely not. Whether it be your career, whether it be your finances, whether it be relationship, whatever it is where you feel like you're not getting where you want to go or you're stuck, look at somebody who you see as doing what you want to do. Start examining their behavior. Start examining what they believe, especially if they have some sort of YouTube or social media presence where they're literally communicating what is inside their brain specifically for this topic. Look and see how it differs from it. Write it down so you can see as objective as possible what those look like, because there's going to be a discrepancy. There's going to be, a gap. And that doesn't make you wrong, them right, or anything like that. It makes them doing this thing that you like, that you want to do. So if you try to get up here to align with it, start saying, what assumptions are they making about life? How are they living in a belief system? What do they assume that they are capable of? What is their concept of themselves? As you start doing that, you'll start to see how big your life can change based on assumptions, assuming that things will go right, rather than what if this all falls apart? What if none of this works out? What if right before I'm going to do the thing, everything crumbles, everyone lets me down? What if they were there for me? What if when I put all myself and my focus and my creative energy into this thing, what if it's better than even I can imagine right now? What if you start having those assumptions, those beliefs, those possibilities, let your imagination go that way? A big thing also that you can do that will significantly change your life that's limiting you right now. Most people do this. You always think, man, just think of your dreams, right? Just remember your dreams. Think of them often. The secret in everything I've been hearing about people who are really breaking through and all the success I've had in my past, it's not thinking of your dreams. It's thinking from your dreams. What assumptions does that dream version of you have? What beliefs, what actions, what behaviors, what habits do they have? Thinking from them. And when you start thinking from them, you can easily see what you need to do to be that person. And then your external reflection is going to be projected back to you because it's only an internal echo. Whatever's going on inside right now, you're experiencing. As you start to change, there's going to be a delay, and that's where most people stop. They start doing the things, I'm going to assume who I want to be, I'm going to look from that version. It's a continual tweaking, a continual adjustment, a continual calibration that you need to do. And over time, that echo will then be reflected. But just as you scream in, a mountain range or a cave, you scream or yell. Hopefully you're not screaming. But if you're yelling, just to hear your voice come back, it doesn't come back in real time, right? It takes a little bit for those sound waves to go out and then come back. Just the same as your energetic vibration right now of who you're going to assume to be, what assumptions you're going to make, it's going to take a little bit of a delay for them to start reflecting back to you. And you just start assuming, oh yeah, you know what? This is going to happen. This is how it works. Now, the other big thing about what is happening in your life and what is ultimately influencing right now is the idea of how you're using your imagination. So how are you using your imagination in these assumptions? You're going to look at the person that you dream of being, right? That dream job, the dream relationship, the dream financial situation, whatever it may be. There could be a multitude of different things. You're going to look at that, and then you're going to start using that and using your imagination to focus and concentrate on it. Just as when rain comes from the sky, it's very small and dispersed, and it falls on you, and you get wet, but you're not hurt at all. Now, if we take a whole bunch of water and we concentrate it, we put a lot of pressure and focus through it, it can cut steel. That's the difference between focus and attention, where you're putting these things, how you're using your imagination. And the biggest thing to help you gain that momentum is start being aware of the imagination that you're not currently in control of, right? When we talked about earlier about assuming that the bad things are going to happen or assuming that the person is going to let you down. Start using those uncontrolled imaginative impulses. Start realizing that they're there, understand why they're there, and start just playing a what if game. What if that isn't true? You're going to start, essentially taking the feet out from under it and start weakening them because it's an impulse. It's an impulse to protect you, but if you think about it, it's not protecting you. It is actually keeping you from the thing that you want. Currently, subconsciously, you're like, oh, if I don't do that thing, I might go and fail at that, and that's going to hurt. So I'm going to stay over here, and I'm going to protect myself. The ego wants to help you stay there because it wants to help keep you safe, and it's going to learn all the things you've done in your past. If you failed, if you've fallen on your face and it's been embarrassing, it's going to be like, whoa, that is not a good idea. If we stay here and we don't do that thing because bad things might happen, we're going to be safe. And yeah, it might be embarrassing. Something might screw up, but guess what? You're gonna get information that you don't have right now by going through those steps. And it is your information that you critically need to get to the next step, to get to the next version of you, to start vibrating on a higher level, to start getting in alignment with the dream version of you that you seek right now, or you wouldn't be watching this video. So start looking to see when your imagination starts getting a little bit out of control, like, hey, I don't want that thing to happen. Whatever you don't want to happen, stop thinking about it. Or when you do think about it, dismantle it. Start asking it questions. Why would that be possible? Why would that happen? What if that isn't true? What if the really good thing happens? What if the complete opposite of what that voice is telling you happens? And what if you start saying, oh, that's that part of me that's scared and it wants to protect me. It's okay. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being there. I understand that this is worth that, and that's actually going to keep me safer by continuing to evolve, because if you're not growing in nature, you're decaying. So it's your choice what you want to feed, your uncontrolled imagination that keeps you nice and safe, or let that imagination grow towards that which you really want, and use all that focus and use that imagination to start shifting your brain and different assumptions, different beliefs, different behaviors, and ultimately different habits, which will create an entirely new life for you. Realize that your whole life right now is ruled by your assumptions and your beliefs. And the biggest way to change them is by changing your assumptions and realizing what you're thinking, being in control of those thoughts and not letting them slip away. When you get under stress, realizing, okay, this is where things usually go, and I'm gonna choose to just do some breath work and to stay in the moment and to make a new choice. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please click like, share it with those who might find value in it. Hit subscribe if you haven't done already. The bell notification lets you know as soon as I release my next video, which is every single day, and I'll see you in the next one.